Oh, hey, didn't see you there. I'm just, reading a book by Ernest Hemingway. Oh, you think that's nerdy? You think that's good for Nerd Day? Me reading Ernest Hemingway. Yeah, Ernest Hemingway's a real nerd. Fought in the army, revolutionized English prose as we know it today, obsessed with hunting, big game in Africa, wrote the definitive tract on bullfighting. Yeah, bullfighting. That's really nerdy stuff. Okay? Authors are brave, authors are tough, authors are cool. And authors make me cry. Okay? I admit it. When I sit, at home, in my bed, reading Ernest Hemingway, a tear comes to my eye. Then another tear, and then a whole flood of tears. That's what reading's all about. Bullfighting, big game hunting, and me sitting at home in my room, weeping. And if that makes me a nerd, fine. Fine!
Nerds are people who are comfortable with what they're passionate about.
I've always loved the Montreal Canadiens. I think if I were to take some of my blood right now, you'd find it would be bleeding bleu, blanc, rouge.
The world visually makes so much more sense. That's part of what's so great about art history. It's like history with pictures.
I have supported Duke since I was about 12 years old.
I've always liked art. I think I just like being able to play and create and think and problem solve and work with my hands and create something from nothing. And then also apply some of my ideas about the world to things and build them.
I'm a snake nerd, which means I studied herpetology in school.
Do you game?
Yes.
What games do you play?
Destiny and Bloodborne on the PS4.
One video game now that I think of is I love Kerbal Space Program in Minecraft because there's that educational angle of it. And I get to program because often I spend a lot of my time when I'm just kind of at home relaxing. I'll pick a good programming problem and try and work through it.
And they don't really worry too much about what other people think.
Hi, I'm Dave Sakonic, and I love physics. I love physics for many, many reasons, especially phonetics. I love doing phonetics in physics. I also love chemistry. Avocado's number. Avocado is one of the best vegetables you can eat. Interesting, isn't that?
Anyone who, let's say, goes against the mainstream.
Math is just so fun and beautiful and artistic, and numbers just have a way of always working out the way you want them to. It's a beautiful thing.
You can look at sculptures like Richard Serra, who has a big installation at the Pearson International Airport in Terminal 1, and he has this incredible. Have you seen it? It's like big sheets of thick steel, the arcs. Do you remember that? You've been there, right? So stand in the middle of that and talk, and just hear your own voice in that space. That's Richard Serra's genius of learning how to control the basic sort of elements of visual art, such as line and form and material, such as steel.
Well, computers are better than consoles. Just don't put that on the thing because then I'll be punched in the face.
But these are all books that I've read, either to teach or just because I love books. In fact, at my house, I have so many books that my husband has threatened to divorce me because our basement is full of books.
To express themselves in terms of what's important to them can be nerdy in that way.
I brought my pet snake Mittens for you guys to see. This is an African ball python.
Mm-hmm.
She's very friendly. And in the past I've had lots of other snakes as well. Somewhere in the range of about 200 snakes. I can show you over here, there's So this is a snake skeleton.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all vertebrae and ribs and a skull. And those are the only types of bones they have. So they have a skull, all the backbone here and the ribs, and then the rest is all just muscle and skin.
The person that I enjoy watching the most on Duke is actually their coach. Coach Krzyzewski is very famous. He's done a lot for the game of basketball. He's got the most wins in basketball, he coaches the USA Dream Team. He's coached them at the Olympics to gold medals and such. And yeah, I love Duke. Go Duke! Oh yeah, Coach K!
When I was in high school, I actually learned how to count in base 16. We had a discussion the other day of whether or not to teach our son to count in base 3. But I learned to count in base 16, which is hexadecimal, because I learned how to hack a video game called Diablo 2. Now, a lot of you probably play Diablo 3 now, but in my day it was Diablo 2. And what you would do is the character would be represented by a bunch of hexadecimal digits, which means that you have numbers 0 through 16 as a placeholder. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F.
Oh.
And if you could find the right spot, the hexadecimal value that related to the player's attributes, you could modify that. I crashed the game a great deal, but every now and then I would hit gold and I would get, I would level up 1,000 times and be able to beat the game really quickly.
One of my very favorite days of the year is Pie Day. Want to see how I celebrated?
Sure, let's see.
I made a s'mores pie.
I think back to last time they won in '93 when they won that glorious cup. I'd say our biggest rivalry is obviously the Leafs, then followed by Boston. Ottawa is becoming a pretty close third right now.
But something about nerds. Nerds don't work hard, we work smart.
Nerds rule.